Welcome to Conversations with Loulou. This is episode 19, and I am back for the second year. I have taken a long break, I know, and I wasn't even sure I was going to be back, but here I am, and I couldn't be more excited about it, and I hope that you are too. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Loulou Khazan. I have been an entrepreneur for a decade. I've been living in Dubai for 2 decades, and I am also an angel investor, a mother, and your host for this show. So last year when I started Conversations with Loulou, I wanted to bring to you stories about startup founders and business leaders. I wanted to learn from their career journeys. I wanted to gain from their industry expertise, and I wanted to humanize them and demystify success and really demonstrate that success is not linear, as we all know. So this year I'm going to be building on that, and I'm going to be sharing stories that I believe are timely, relevant, and insightful. I want this podcast to become a learning platform, not only for myself, but for everybody who decides to join me on this journey. I promise to bring you some fantastic guests, and we're gonna distill some great gems and tips and tools that we can apply in our day-to-day lives and in our careers to thrive. So I wanted to kick off this year the show by starting off on a topic that I believe is quite relevant and quite timely. Both local and international news outlets have been talking about it for quite some time now. And that topic is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So if you're like me, probably about 2 months ago, I had no idea what NFTs were. I knew they had to do with crypto and the blockchain. I knew that artists were creating NFTs and selling them, and I knew that it was something that is going to be definitely a space to watch. So I wanted to dig into them. So what are non-fungible tokens? Non-fungible is basically something that you can't duplicate or replicate, and therefore it's quite unique. So a non-fungible token, the way I can explain it to myself, and the easiest explanation I found, is that it's basically an asset that is linked to a unique piece of code and that is recorded on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, what is the blockchain? The blockchain is a peer-to-peer network where transactions are made, recorded, and verified by a network of computers. They are called nodes, and without the intervention of any human, basically, or third parties. This makes the blockchain decentralized. It makes it efficient. It makes it fast and cheaper because it eliminates basically third-party fees that are usually levied to validate transactions and record transactions. So the applications of NFTs are quite wide. There is nothing stopping any asset to be made into an NFT. So you can create an NFT from an apartment or a car, or a blog post, or a piece of video content, or a highlight of a sports video, for example, like an NBA game. We're seeing a lot of that happening now. So pretty much any asset, anything that could be ownable can become an NFT potentially. And that's why I feel that it's very important for all of us to at least educate ourselves about the basics of NFTs and understand where it's headed and what could be the opportunity behind it. So it's important to note that the most important NFT happened in the digital art world, and this is when, about a month ago, an artist by the name of Mike Winkelmann, also known as Beeple or Beeple Crap, yes, Crap, on social media, he had been releasing a piece of digital artwork every day for the past 5,000 days. And when NFTs became a thing, he took all of these individual pieces of digital art, and he collated them into this massive artwork that represents 5,000 days of his art. And he created an NFT out of it. And what happened next is Christie's, the global auction house, decided to auction this NFT. For the first time ever, they auctioned a piece of digital art, and it was sold for just over $69 million. Nobody could believe it. Basically, somebody paid $69 million for a media file or a JPEG. Nobody could believe it. Mike Winkelmann couldn't even believe it. In fact, let's hear his reaction.
Oh my God! 50 million! What? Oh my God! 69 million.
I think it probably means digital art is here to stay.
I'm going to Disney World!
So fascinating, and I'm sure it's going to change his life forever. So is this a bubble? Well, the guy that bought it, who goes by the pseudonym Metakovan, doesn't think so. I mean, he obviously felt it was worth that much and more. In fact, on an interview on CNBC, he said that he would have actually paid more. He would have been ready to pay more than that for the Beeple art piece. So once the hype cycle subsides, I believe that there is a lot of room for this specific technology, and its applications are definitely quite varied. And only time will tell basically if the art NFT market is here to stay, and if they're going to continue to see more growth, or if it's going to be something that's going to die down in a couple of years. We don't know that. But definitely the technology has a lot of legs, and we're definitely going to be seeing it applied on other types of assets and not only digital art. There are some skeptics basically that say that the whole NFT asset class has been created by the already crypto rich as a way for them to get more and more people to be trading in cryptocurrencies, and therefore they become richer. Some of them are concerned about the speculation that is happening in the NFT world, where people are just buying and selling these assets not due to the value of the underlying asset, but more just to trade it. But of course, there's also on the positive note, it's a new medium, a new sales channel for artists who love to do digital art. It's a new way for them to be able to sell these art pieces to the world. So to hear more about such artists and to get a MENA perspective, I am extremely honored to be hosting Kristel Bechara. She's a Lebanese award-winning artist, and she is the first Middle Eastern artist to sell 3 NFTs on global marketplaces. We're going to hear about her journey and the process that she went through and her learnings, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Kristel, I want to thank you so much for being my guest on Conversations with Loulou.
I'm happy to be with you, Loulou.
And I wanted to say congratulations on all of the awards that you've won throughout the years, all of the appreciation you've gotten from galleries all over the world. I saw that your work was in Tokyo, in Paris, in Brussels, and Milan, and more. And more importantly, congratulations on being the first artist to sell 3 NFTs, first Middle Eastern artist to sell 3 NFTs recently. And this is something that I want to cover today. So thank you. I'm really honored.
I'm happy, so happy to be with you. And thank you for your introduction.
So Kristel, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey into the art world? So how did you start, and how long have you been at this journey?
So growing up, I was influenced by my late father. He was a surrealist artist and a sculptor. So I was always encouraged to express myself through art. I graduated with a degree in graphic design. And when I moved to Dubai 14 years ago, I landed my first job as an in-house designer. But all the time I wanted to create a style that is unique, and this is where I combine my love for drawing and traditional painting with my technical skills and the use of softwares and the technology, and I created a style that I'm really fond of, and this is it made it I was able through this style that is so unique to me to move from an art hobbyist to a professional artist.
And how would you describe your art?
My art, it's a mix of, let's say, classic and contemporary modern. I mix simplicity with a lot of complexity and a lot of patterns and a lot of colors with a lot of black and white in the background. And it's like a mix of everything that I love in one medium.
Yes, it's very colorful, that's for sure. And I
Eclectic.
see you have a lot of eclectic, exactly. And there's a lot of contrast between the colors and the black.
Yes,
So you've been a full-time professional artist for the past 5 years then?
5 years, yes.
And you've experimented in, painting on canvas, and you've also experimented in the digital art space.
Correct.
And then recently, obviously, this whole NFT world opens up, and I wanted to ask you about it. So tell me, like, when was the first time you heard about NFT, and what did you think when you first heard about it?
Well, we were at my gallery in the IFC and we bumped into our friends, Ala and Jesse. They had a friend with them. His name is Abbas. I didn't know him at the time. We started talking about art and the art market, and Abbas, he casually just explained to us about NFTs, the non-fungible tokens. That was maybe 2 months ago. And then the next day, and after that coincidence, I started seeing NFTs everywhere online. And this is where I felt that I'm missing out. I'm missing out. So I went online, had a crash course on the blockchain and all this new technology. And you know that I run my art business as a startup. So I'm always looking for opportunities to disrupt this industry, the art industry. So I always try to be innovative, and this is where I felt this is something that I can really benefit from, and I learned as much as I can. You don't have to be technical or to learn coding to create NFTs. But it was from my curiosity, because I needed to understand properly what I'm going to get into. And this is when I started creating NFTs.
So you saw it as an additional sales channel, basically, for you.
Sales channels, and it's a recognition for digital creators, because I work with both digital and traditional art. And I've been defending and explaining about digital art like for years, and it's finally the time to with NFTs to get to say that digital art is not less than the traditional art. So I hope with NFTs people will get this art, and the digital artists will get this recognition.
So they're for you, they're the same in terms of the thinking behind it, the time it takes,
and the creative process that it takes, of course. It's just
and the same
different
value.
Tools and same value. It's just it's inspiration, creativity. It's just different tools or different mediums of creating this art.
Okay, so you heard about this non-fungible tokens, then these NFTs, and you decided that, okay, I have to try this. I want to be innovative. You had mentioned in an earlier discussion we had that you feel that artists are always not at the forefront of technology, but they're always lagging behind. So you wanted to change this perception and be first. And you succeeded. So how did you think about it? Did you take any of your existing art and you said, okay, I'm going to take this collection and make it into an NFT, or did you develop something specifically for this occasion?
Yeah, as much as I was tempted to use my previous digital art or the collections that I already have as digital, after my research, I understood that NFTs are here to stay. So although I wanted to act quickly, I took my time to create a series that is related or more relevant to crypto and these topics. So I created a series called Beauty in Diversity and DeFi. And my first artwork was an interpretation of Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin.
Yes, the alias used by the creator of Bitcoin. Because nobody knows if it's a he or a she.
So yeah, I created a binary figure actually, and maybe it's a group of people, so we don't know actually. Yeah.
Okay, so you decided to do art that is very much representative of the crypto world of the decentralized finance world.
Finance world, correct. Yes.
Okay, so let's go through the experience. So you have this digital artwork that you've created, and then what did you do?
So
So take me through the process.
the process. There are many platforms and large platforms that everyone goes, like you can go to create NFTs. For me, the first one was OpenSea. And this is where I listed my first artwork, which is Satoshi Nakamoto. When I launched this artwork, however, I received from an art friend. He's from Holland. We are part of an international group of artists, and he invited me to join Foundation app. So on Foundation app, it's a different. They have different features and different than OpenSea. So what I've done is. OpenSea is a large platform, and you don't get noticed easily. With Foundation, it's by invitation. They list the work chronologically, so you're more likely to be visible when you first launch your work. So the second day, I launched my second artwork on Foundation, and 24 hours later, it was sold.
Okay.
So what I've done is I delisted Satoshi from OpenSea and listed it again with Foundation, and it was sold within 24 hours. And the same happened with the third artwork.
Okay, so let me understand. So there are multiple then marketplaces, global marketplaces to list these artworks and basically create an NFT out of this artwork, which I'm going to ask you about, and then sell the artwork. So OpenSea is very open to everybody, and what you're saying is that it's really crowded, whereas Foundation is more curated.
Correct.
Which makes actually it was going to be one of my questions, because there's 7 billion people on the planet. Obviously, they're not all artists, but if everybody is going to list any video or any audio file or blog post or artwork, then you're going to have like billions of pieces of digital art. So who curates this, right?
Yeah, and there are. This is the problem. It's saturated. So. This is where the platform plays a role in this, in making every artist more visible. And for example, what I like about Foundation is that when you list an NFT, or when you list your work, you set a reserve price. It's like an auction. Once you get the first bid, it sets automatically to a 24-hour auction. And it is visible for 24 hours to everybody. So, and this is where you get most of your bids. But first thing, you need the first bid to move, to the auction. So, and the last 15 minutes, whenever a bid is placed in the last 15 minutes, you get an extension of another 15 minutes. So usually the bids, they are the bidders, they start outbidding themselves, each other actually, in the last 15 minutes, and then the more you have, the more time you are visible. So it's really exciting. I love this. Yeah.
It's not only 24 hours. Then it's 24 hours, but then you get increments of 15 minutes.
Yes.
As more and more people are bidding.
People are bidding. Yes. At the last 15 minutes,
Okay, so what's unique about Foundation then is that first of all, it's invite only, and then it's an auction, and it's 24 hours plus increments of 15 minutes. And in terms of the so what does it mean when you say create an NFT? What does that, for whoever is listening, or any artists or entrepreneurs that are interested but haven't taken the step, what does that mean?
So the smart contracts, they are like a series or set of rules that are on the blockchain. You don't have to be. Let's not go technical. I'm not technical, obviously, and it's not very complicated for users. You just need to create a wallet, and you create an account and the username and all these credentials on these platforms like Rarible, OpenSea, and Foundation. And it's very simple. You just mint your artwork. You just list it. They call it minting. You pay the fees, whatever, it depends. And then in the description, you list what you want to have in this smart contract. For example, you list where this artwork is, whether it's a digital file, whether it's redeemable, the dimension, the sizes. Some applications have like lockable content. Only the collector will get to see it when he buys it. And then you just set the price of the reserve or the fixed price, and then you click list, and it goes on the platform. It goes on the platform. It depends on the platform whether it's fixed or it's going to be waiting for the first bid to move to the auction.
And did it take time for you to create a wallet? Did you have to do any KYC or know your customer type?
No. The wallet you can create
validation.
No, the wallet is not through this app. It's a different app actually.
Okay, and like what Binance. App did you use for your wallet?
Binance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole process.
MetaMask also, and actually MetaMask is the wallet, not Binance.
Binance is the exchange.
Yes. MetaMask.
Okay, I thought maybe they have wallets as well. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so MetaMask is quite known actually as a global wallet.
Yes.
So you create you create a wallet there first, and then you create a profile on them.
Yes, you connect your wallet to your profile on the platforms you are. And you can have many, obviously.
Okay. And what happens if you don't receive any bids? You just delist the work?
No, you keep it on your profile.
Okay.
Because your profile is like where all your collection is.
It's like a portfolio.
Yeah. For the creator and for the collectors as well. The collectors are, they are showing their work, what they are buying, their collectibles actually. Yeah.
They're very. I saw you have 4 pieces now that are listed. 3 were sold,
and the one I listed it's waiting for the reserve to be met. Yeah.
Yes, and I saw you've increased your reserve this time as well. So
I'm learning.
So you have a yes.
I'm learning how it goes. Yes, because there are prominent collectors, and you get to know. To start to know some of the collectors, and you get engaged, and so I'm just like trying, and
they're very they're very it's I love these paintings. They're these I don't know, what do you call them, digital paintings or digital artworks?
Digital artworks.
Yes.
Yeah,
they're very what's the term, like mysterious. There's all these colors. I think one of them, FOMO, is a brain, right?
Yes. Yes, fear of missing out. Yes, with the all electrifying colors, and
Okay, so you've sold them. I saw I think an average of what do you have, $6,000, right?
Yes, approximately, yes, and the value is still increasing. I'm keeping the cryptocurrency. Actually, I'm not exchanging to fiat money, so we are investing as well.
That's great.
Yes,
so you believe in the future of it.
Of course.
So it's not just you don't see it as like a quick hit and run type thing where let's sell some digital art, make some money, and get out of there. You believe in this?
I believe in this, and it's here. It's the future. The technology is here to stay, and this is why I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing in creating just any artwork. I'm creating a collection that is relevant to the theme, to the crypto world. So. It is here to stay, and it's still in its infancy stage. There's plenty of room to grow, and it will expand to more creative mediums. Let's say different, not just digital art, and it's both mediums, the physical art or the traditional art and the digital. They will both benefit from this technology. Of course. Because you can create NFTs for any work you have, and it's a way to preserve the provenance of ownership, creation, and all that. plus you get the added bonus for that you can list in these smart contracts the what do you say,
Royalties.
the royalty fees. So whenever you sell it again, you always get royalty fees. So whenever it changes hands, the creator will get 5 to 15% royalty fees, which you never get in the real world.
Yeah, and also effectively you're cutting down a lot of the fees that you would usually cost when you
With
list in galleries, right?
galleries or through, yes, intermediates, yeah. So you are directly selling to the collectors.
Do you see that there is an advantage in NFTs or to basically even the level playing field? So I've done a bit of research and I saw that there's a big gap between men and women. I landed on some research on a site called Artsy, and basically they had wrote a big article about a massive research that was done looking at 110,000 artworks of roughly 11,000 artists that were produced since 1999. And they looked at the gaps between men and women, especially when it comes to the listing price. And for women, for example, the average listing price is $10,000. For men, it's $17,000. And the whole article talks about, it's not different art. It's art is art. Like you can't say the men's art is better than the women's art. So do you feel like there's an opportunity there? Do you have any comments on that?
Well, I hope so. I was part actually like 2 years ago of an exhibition called Art Gap. It was run by not the Standard Chartered Bank, and actually there's a big gap between art made by women or male. And what we've done is that we painted half, or not half, the part that we are paid for. Actually, women are paid for. So we sold half of the painting, and we left the canvas white, the rest of the canvas white. It shows how the gap is very wide in art between men and women. It's wider than any other industries, which is crazy. Kind of you usually judge the art and not the artist. So I hope with this technology, like it is an added for. You are listing online. No one is judging. You are selling directly to the collectors. So I hope, and I'm sure, this gap is gonna be like getting smaller. Hopefully,
Smaller.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a reason at all for that gap in general?
I think there is many reasons, and there is a gap actually in all industries. It's not just in art. Between there's no gender equality in payrolls. I don't know why it's reflected more in art. Maybe years ago, women were not allowed to showcase their work in a way. So I feel there are many reasons, and hopefully with the technology and advance that we are going through, I hope this gap is shrinking. Definitely, it will be shrinking.
Is there something with just going back to the NFT, but did you face any challenges at all being from the Middle East, or do you feel it's the same everywhere?
I don't think there's any challenges, because basically it is everybody has the same chance online, and it's just whether you are an established artist or not, or you're just trying out, or it's just art, whether the collectors like your work. I think that's it.
Okay. But in terms of creating a wallet or listing on these marketplaces, they were open to everybody.
They are open. Yeah. There's no challenges there.
Okay. So were there any sort of lessons learned from this process? Maybe something that, you wish you hadn't done, or you had to learn like the long way, because it's a new process, right? And I think everybody's learning along the way.
I think it will get easier with time as well. Just explaining the process and explaining what I'm doing was a little bit difficult for people who are not who don't understand well what's the blockchain, what are you doing, especially who doesn't work with digital people who don't work with digital art. So they are a little bit far, they cannot get the concept. I think this NFT created a market to trade with digital art, and it's important because digital art usually it's online, anyone can copy it, save it, but with NFTs there's only one original with a clear history and of provenance of the owner and the creator, and through the blockchain this is immutable. So I think we should all learn that digital art should be recognized and equal to any kind of other art.
You know what? I don't think that's the issue. I feel that, like, from everything that I've read about it and heard about it, and also listening to an interview by the guy that bought the $69 million artwork by the artist Beeple. I think the most mind-boggling thing about it is not the technology or the use of the technology. I think it's more like the physical ownership of it, or let's say the scarcity, because art, from my understanding, is that the more scarce you are, it's unique, it becomes more valuable with years and so on. And scarcity means that not many people see it and it's available in one place and so on, or you're the only owner. I think the mind-boggling part of it is that it's a piece of work that everybody in the world can see online, that has been copied many times online on different websites, but that person has bought pretty much a certificate almost, or a contract that says, I own this digital artwork.
Yeah, and then it's about ownership. It's like when you have you have Mona Lisa and you can't have it at your home, you will have it in the vault somewhere, so no one will ever see it anyway. It's just that you own it, like you have your name under it in the museum somewhere. The same with digital art. This is what's good for digital art, that this contract that says this digital art is owned by someone and created by this one. So this is what's all about, ownership.
Yes.
Why do you want? Yes. So when you are acquiring a piece of art that you can't have it in your home, you can display it in your home as well. Because you need to keep it safe and all that. So it's the same with digital art. Or any kind of art, any kind of NFT.
I think this is the novelty in it, and this is what I believe will take some time for sort of people to wrap their heads around it, because ultimately, the person that bought your 3 NFTs, they don't even have, the file, right? I mean,
yeah,
they have the file.
Not all of them ask for the file, but I'm hearing also there are a lot of work on display screens. So it seems it's going to be a thing to display your digital art on screens at home or anywhere else, not just at home. So maybe it's the future to see that any kind of art can be displayed.
Well, I've seen there's digital museums at the moment. There's the Museum of Digital Art, the virtual museums. Yeah, so we're gonna end up sitting on our screens. We're headed there. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's a matter of choice and personal taste, whether you want to feel and look at the art or you just want to see it through a screen. It's just a matter of preference, I think.
Okay, fair enough. I think time will tell. It'll be interesting to see the next couple of years what happens in this space and how it's going to evolve, and how do pieces get resold,
Yes,
It'll be
this is
interesting
what we
for
are
you to
looking for.
see
Yeah, that's
how
interesting to
many.
see, and yes, exciting, and how it's going to change hands. And I think okay, there's plenty of this. It's not a bubble. Let's say not a bubble, but whoever's going to last on these platforms are like real artists at the end, in whatever they do. Not necessarily in digital art, like video games, any kinds of tokens, or any sort of collectibles. Okay, now there's like a hype, and like everybody's trying to sell whatever they can, and maybe some are successful in doing that. But whoever is gonna last is like real artists with real message in their mind, or something valuable, and I think these people who will last, whether it was at NFTs or in any in the art industry anyway.
I think it's just the speculators that bring a bad reputation to things usually, because we
We
hear
don't know.
stories now of it. Yeah, well, there are a lot of people that are buying these digital artworks because they love the art, because they want to support the artist, because they believe in the space and the technology and the potential. And there are a lot of people that are buying them just as a way for them to resell them quickly and make some money. So I think time will tell. But I do agree with you. I believe
Like
that
invest.
no, I mean the artists that are real artists like you and great artists, they will stay whether it's digital or non-digital.
Or yes.
So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, so do you see that the value of digital art will be equal to that of the physical art in general, or do you see it basically going higher? Um, is there,
uh,
are there any conversations you're having maybe with colleagues in the artwork? Like, what are they thinking?
for me, and how I'm pricing my work and how they were sold equally to the original artworks, which is very good. I think in terms of pricing, also it's a matter of each artist how they price their work, and sometimes it doesn't depend on the hours you spend, or the mediums, or the what you used, but it's a value that you place on your artwork. It's something, maybe it has a certain emotion or certain feelings to it. You price it differently than the other. I don't feel digital should be priced less or more. It's just art. Whether it was digital, whatever medium it is, we should price it as we feel it should.
Okay.
The value
But
of it.
there is a cost to the physical art. I know that, paint is not cheap, for example, and the
Yes,
canvases
of
are quite
course.
expensive. So,
But as well, when you're creating your NFTs, you are also paying for the minting, for the creating your account at first, and then for minting, and then there are commissions for the platform. So you are paying as well, not as much maybe, but still, it's still,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it is an additional channel, as you said, and a new channel, and something
And
definitely to watch out for. So for people that follow you as an artist and are interested in the space, where can they buy your NFTs?
So my NFTs are now listed on Foundation app. On my website, atelierkristel.com, I have this NFT series also on my website. Each artwork will take you to the platform that it will be listed on, because I will definitely be working on more artworks and I will be adding them. For now, all of them are on Foundation, and I have also my physical work in my gallery here in the IFC, and my studio as well is in the Onyx Towers.
Okay. And I will definitely add the links, basically to your location of your studio, and the link to your website. So are there any exciting new projects that you're working on that people should look out for?
Well, I have a new exhibition, my gallery, in June. I will announce it soon. And
Okay.
I'm still working on expanding my new collection, the Beauty in Diversity and D5 as NFTs.
Okay.
Finishing my commissions and already started projects. Yeah.
Okay. Any advice you have for artists that are going into the space that want to list on these marketplaces? What's your
Well,
advice to them?
I would like to encourage all the artists to just have an open mind and see how I know a lot from my friends and the community I'm around me. They are very interested. The thing is it's a new technology and not all the people understand it properly. But the race actually is on how fast we can have a mass adoption for this technology, so we can bring in more collectors. And it will become like an essential part of the art industry.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kristel, for all of your insights. I'd love to continue this discussion maybe another in a few years to see what happened and how all of this NFT side of the business has evolved and how many NFTs you end up minting and selling and all of that. So thank you so
Yes,
much for taking the time to explain everything to us and yes, we will see you soon.
thank you, Loulou. I hope I was able to explain how I see it in simple terms, actually. And I hope I can help with this topic. And
Well, I'm sure some artists might reach out to you. Are you on social media somewhere if anybody wants to talk to you about this?
yes, I'm on Instagram and on my website, of course.
Okay, all right. And your Instagram handle is?
Kristel Bechara, my
Kristel
name.
Bechara. Okay,
Yes.
okay, Kristel. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 19. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. Kristel shared some really interesting insights. I'm going to be adding links to her website and to the NFT marketplace, to Foundation, where you'd be able to check out her art and buy it if this is something interesting for you. I've done a lot of research for this episode, so I'm going to add links to podcasts and other reading material into the show notes, so make sure to check them out. You'll find the show notes on my website, conversationswithloulou.com. As usual, feedback is always welcome. You can connect with me on social media on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter at Loulou Khazen, or you can reach out to me directly through email at loulou.khazen@gmail.com. Definitely looking for recommendations in terms of people that you think should be featured. I'm also looking for people and companies that are willing to support the show and become sponsors. So if you like what I'm doing, please get in touch. And for now, I want to wish you a great day and see you in 2 weeks.